In the years following the battles of Endor and Jakku, after the surrender of the Galactic Empire, Mon Mothma wanted to prove her devotion to peace by heavily demilitarizing the New Republic. She wanted to show the galaxy that their government would be far different from that of the Empire's, and that the time for fighting was over. Of course, 30 years later, the small size of the New Republic fleet allowed it to be annihilated in a single attack. So, was the rapid demilitarization a mistake? According to the book Last Shot, even some of Mothma's closest advisors thought so. There will be very light spoilers for the book ahead. A lot of Mothma's idealist decisions are questioned in the book. While it's a noble cause to bring an end to the fighting as swiftly as possible, going on what Lando calls a decommissioning rampage might not be the way to do it. With the Empire defeated, it's probably easy to convince yourself there's no more need for a major fleet. The problem is, according to the Aftermath trilogy, in the wake of the destruction of the second Death Star, a shadow war began between the various criminal syndicates. The conflict got heated enough that the New Republic had to intervene above the prison moon substation Grimdock. Unfortunately, facing off against pirate ships from the Hutts, Black Sun, and more, the New Republic ships found themselves completely outgunned. On the bright side, the criminal syndicates were unaware of their armament, so the whole thing wound up in a stalemate. But it could have gone a lot worse. Han and Lando shake their heads at the situation and blame Mon Mothma. Han also describes hearing horror stories from Leia after her Senate hearings, so it sounds like even she isn't a fan of the decision to demilitarize so rapidly. Even the fighting at Substation Grimdock is the result of one of Mothma's actions, granting amnesty to the Imperials that controlled the prison and simply expecting them to behave. I really enjoyed this commentary on the New Republic. Now, I loved The Force Awakens, but my biggest problem with it was the fact that Starkiller Base was just a big reset button for the galaxy. It brought everything back to basically the new rebels against the new Empire, with the entirety of the New Republic Senate and fleet destroyed seconds after we finally saw them. And then, moving backwards, the demilitarization had to happen for that to make sense. So I like seeing the arguably questionable decisions of Mon Mothma treated with some skepticism in-universe, especially when she's usually upheld as some sort of infallible savior to the galaxy. I also like that, even though I'm not a fan of intentionally weakening the New Republic, the book treats this issue as if there isn't a definite right or wrong answer, because there isn't one. I do think it's noble to try to tell the galaxy you have no intent to continue fighting and to prove it by diminishing your fleet. I don't think that's a bad thing, and it's not like any one new Starkiller base would be built 30 years later. It also would have been difficult to predict the uprising of several criminal organizations at once. Hindsight is 20/20 and all that. I think this criminal shadow war could make for some very interesting storytelling in the future. Divided, even the largest syndicates would have some trouble opposing the New Republic's smaller fleet, but if they were all to band together, everything would even out significantly. I wouldn't mind exploring that kind of conflict, as I think it would play out very differently than a war with the Empire or the First Order. But what do you guys think? Do you want to see more of this shadow war? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.